his family. And he's a great fella, and he's now leader of Gateshead Metropolitan Borough Council. And he's down from Northumberland just to be with us to speak, and then he's going to dash back again. So could you give it up, please, for Martin Gannon? It sounds much better than it is. It's a fabulous boomer, but we have a caravan of a boomer, so my daughter's up there. Thanks very much for inviting us to come down. Kevin, when he made the introduction, was saying when it was published, I was telling people we have about 11 years to make the changes necessary to make sure that we don't have irreversible change. That's why Gateshead Council at that time passed a resolution that we declared a climate emergency. We're under pressure to do so. People circling the Civic Centre, you lot, on bikes blocking the roads. But it was something that actually was raised within the Labour group of Gateshead Council prior to those protests taking place. It was something we wanted to do. Hasn't been easy, as I'm sure you're aware from some of the issues we had just 2 weeks ago, where we had to make changes to the road system, not because of climate change, although climate change is on our agenda, but because of air quality issues. 400 people a year are dying on Tyneside because the air kills them because we're clogging the roads with traffic. And we need to do something about that. We're being made to do it by European legislation. We shouldn't be made to do it. We should be doing it anyway. But at least I can politically fall back on the excuse of open government is making us do these things because international regulations are making them doing it. But the fact is it's going to happen. The fact is that the Tyne Bridge will close down to one lane. The flyover in Gateshead will have to close. And we then have 8 lanes of traffic trying to get across one lane on the Tyne Bridge. So people will have to make change. Kevin also mentioned the issue about poverty, about the fact that so many people already around the world are suffering and dying. I read another report which said that it was actually by, I'm trying to remember the name of the report, and some people I'm sure will have read it, but he was the chief of the defence staff in Australia, where he was discussing the geopolitical consequences of climate change. And what he said was, within the next 20 years, we'll be facing the fact that over 1 billion people will be unable to live where they currently live. Now, we've seen how the UK media, in the middle of a COVID crisis, with all the problems that we face, go absolutely berserk about a few desperate families who are so desperate they squeeze themselves into dinghies to travel across the English Channel to escape poverty. And I say that, like many of us here, Mary, Kevin, and others who come from Irish families who escaped poverty in the 1840s. They were economic migrants. And many people who are doing the screaming and shouting bawling are the descendants of economic migrants. But we'll face one of the consequences of global change is that within the next 20 years, 1 billion people will not be able to live where they currently live. And the consequences of that in terms of conflict. This is why he was seeing it from a military perspective, that it throws the dynamics of geo-global politics into real problems. And the issue is about poverty, people fleeing poverty. We haven't quite got 400 people here. I also read that 400 people, it depends how you calculate these things, but about 400 people own 50% of the world's wealth. That's a pretty staggering figure, really, isn't it? You really think about it. You can get them in one room. What it means is that the other 50% is shared between 6 billion people. And actually, if you see the figures, though the bottom 10% literally own absolutely nothing, living in desperate poverty. That's what's been exaggerated. It's actually that our system causes that. It's about accumulation of wealth, which creates the conditions that create climate change. So there's less than 400 of us here, but we're right. and they're wrong. And I don't know who it was who said it, but there's nothing as powerful as an idea that time has come. Actually, nobody else said it. I've said it.
After that, I've got a request to make to you all, and Laurie's going to